Hi there, welcome to the Uke Stuff channel, and welcome to this discussion of the first chord. And this is really coming from an educator's perspective. It might be something for you to think about as well. But the first chord I teach students is the C chord. It makes sense, right? It's the number one chord that's most frequently used, at least in the ukulele play along videos, but I'm pretty sure on all chords. And it's quite significant how much more it's used than any other chord, period. So, and that, of course, is in GCEA tuning, which is what we're talking about. Our instruments here are Flight TUSL Kids instruments. It's actually the dark blue long neck soprano ukulele. So it's a concert neck with soprano body. It's the perfect trade-off for fifth grade and above because you get the longer and more spacious fretboard of a concert with the portability of a soprano. I think that's a great idea. Now, with all honesty, had the Flight Ultra been out when this instrument or these instruments were bought, we bought 640 of them for our school district at the same time. Had that Ultra been out, we might have ordered Ultras, but they weren't. And yes, the Ultra is a soprano version, but they're just a little more rugged. So these are very rugged as it goes, but they still can be damaged. I've got some videos on this channel about that and then how I fix them when I can. So anyway, the big selling point here is that you get the Aquila Kid strings. These are basically Nile gut strings that are colored, and they're sold at a great price to education. There is a catch, however, that these strings may not be available directly from Aquila right now, which is how you have to buy them because of tariffs. This is being recorded in 2025, and tariffs are all over the board, and there's lots of companies that aren't shipping to the United States right now trying to figure out what to do because nobody wants to pay another 30% or 100% or 130% on top of what something actually costs. There's no profit to be made for sellers or vendors unless they raise their prices. And then if they raise their prices, people aren't going to buy the stuff. And unfortunately, on a lot of these things, we don't have domestic solutions in the United States for them. So how do you deal with that? And that's something that the whole industry is figuring out right now in 2025 as I'm recording this. So with those colored strings, it makes a lot of things a lot easier for me as a teacher. I teach ukulele to fifth grade. There are people that try to teach it younger, and I see all the time complaints about how hard their kids struggle. Fifth grade seems to be the perfect starting point for most students. Most of them have grown up enough, both in terms of maturity and physically, to be able to handle the tasks of playing ukulele. Are there occasionally exceptions? Sure, but that's true in all of life, right? There are students that I know that are great and start off privately on their own separately. That's fine too. They can help as other kids move along, and I move them all at the same time. So we do a video method. Mine is available, the organization of videos, for a very low cost. You can find at the buymeacoffee.com/ukestuff page. It's very affordable. It's the organization on my videos so that you don't have to do the work. You just have to decide which videos then you want to use. I also have the searchable index for songs that have the chords you know, and you can find that at ukestuff.info. If you look under ukulele play-alongs, you'll see the links to the GCEA or soprano concert tenor chords. There's also one for baritone if you teach baritone as well. So after we've talked about what the ukulele is, talked about the parts, talked about how to hold it, talk about how to strum, and you've got those basics figured out, then it's time for the first chord. And yes, this is simple, but some of the techniques you bring right now will pay themselves off in time if you are kind of strict about it. Not in a mean way, but just you say this is the way it's going to be done. And again, here is how I do it. Generally, it's their left hand, although I do let left-handed students choose to play a left-handed ukulele or to play a right-handed left, if that makes sense. So what I have them do is I hold up their chording hand, so to say, and I have them make the OK sign. I have them make them the OK sign on the second finger, and then the OK sign on the ring finger. Their hand turns over, their hand goes underneath, they pull their fingers apart, and they put it right down on top of the first string, third fret or third box. In this case, it is the blue string, third box. And I know, obviously, you're supposed to get as close to the fret as you can, but if they're even in the middle of the box at that point, that's fine. The danger is they're going to want to be right on the third fret rather than behind it. So it is often better to start off a player by just saying be in the center of the box. And quite honestly, the fret space is not that giant anyway. So you're fine in the middle for now. And then it's the trick of staying with that shape of the OK. There's a lot of kids that are going to want to pull that knuckle in when they play, and then that's going to make it flat. And yes, you can play it that way, but it's going to lead to better success in the future by being able to leave that knuckle out. The other thing you're going to see a lot is kids wanting to hold their ukulele with their hand like this. And eventually it makes them look really funny and causes a lot of tension, but we don't want that. So I am always going to them and saying, okay, this arm, your strumming arm, holds the ukulele. It holds the baby. That's where it's being held. This hand is just guiding, and you need space there. The space again that a hamster could crawl through. So they've already talked about strumming. We've already done a video about that in this series as well. But if they're on the fingertip, on the first string or blue string, third box, they're making the OK sign, they're good to go. Now, I don't get caught up in thumb so much about an exact thumb placement, other than the thumb should be somewhere behind so you can create space in your hand. And yes, even the smallest hands can do this, particularly with the C chord, pretty well. Now, some other things that you'll see are students that try to play with their first finger, which of course is possible, but that's going to cause problems when they have to jump to the next chord, in my sequence at least, which is the F chord. So they need to start learning how to allow C to be played just with the correct finger. I've said this in a number of videos, but remember, this tuning and these chord shapes come from other instruments. It doesn't come just from the ukulele's own history from 1890s, but even older than that. The Rojao, which is from Madeira, to actually even guitar. I mean, the tuning is the same as a guitar, just up a fifth, right, from where you're normally at. So with that all thought about, we learn the shapes that exist, and then once we play them, if we do something different, we need to know why we're doing it. For example, there's going to be time you're going to have to play the C chord with your pinky, but we're not going to start off with the pinky. It's going to be the ring finger, so that you can quickly and easily change between C and F, which are the first couple chords we're going to learn. So I really think that's all I want to say about the C chord at this time. We've already talked about strumming, and next time we'll talk about the F chord. But keep working on that round shape, fingertip, a good arm shape, which is really, as long as they're not holding the ukulele neck and they get away from holding the neck, they just steer the neck and allow the holding to happen here, you're in good shape for that first chord. With that, we'll be back soon with the F chord shape as well. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.